Her Holiness Param Pujya Amma ji, Shri Nitin ji Gadkari, our guests are all here. We welcome Amma ji. I request all the guests to please take their seats on the stage. Her Holiness Param Pujya Amma ji, Shri Nitin ji Gadkari, Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Ambassador Abhay Thakur ji, welcome to the stage. All the esteemed dignitaries, delegates from G20 countries, representatives of various civil service organizations, members of the Civil Reception Committee, members of the multiple working groups, and all the honorable guests. Namaskar and welcome to the valedictory function of the Inception Conference of the Civil 2023. Over the past 48 hours, we have witnessed the history of human development being scripted. We beheld expansive and inclusive thought leadership. We participated in the deliberations that will shape our future generations. Panel discussions that happened, they included balancing development with environment, civil society organizations and promotion of human values, role of civil society in promoting human development, civil society organizations as drivers of innovation and technology. A lot of deliberation happened. Some have come to conclusion. We all came together in these 48 hours as one earth, one family, for one future, all in the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Coincidentally, today also happens to be World Social Work Day, wherein we celebrate the achievements of social work along with raising the visibility of social services for the future of societies. In the same spirit, we now go ahead and welcome our guests for the day. I request Her Holiness Amma ji to please welcome and felicitate Nitin ji Gadkari with a stole and a floral bouquet. Shri Nitin ji Gadkari is a Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, and the current Minister for Road Transport and Highways in the Government of India. He is also the longest serving minister. Second. Swadesh? बताओ हाँ all right we shall do this again, but this time I request Nitin ji Gadkari to please felicitate Amma. ठीक है. To take the proceedings forward, I call upon Sri Vijay Nambiar, Sherpa, to present a report of the Inception Conference.
Her Holiness Mata Amritanandamayi Devi Amma, His Excellency Minister Gadkari, the chief guest, one of the chief guests, Ambassador Ajay Thakur, Abhay Thakur, sorry. Madam Bhideji, Sahasrabuddhaji, and Satyanarayanji. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 2 days and more have been days of incredible energy and spiritedness in this particular city. I have not been here for a long time. I've said that I've been here more than 50 years ago. But I think this city has witnessed unprecedented kind of activity which has coincided with the Inception Conference of the C20 this year. And we think it is something which is a grace which has been showered to us and the people who have attended this meeting and the sort of spontaneous emotional outpouring that has come from the people on the streets of Nagpur, which we have witnessed so vibrantly and so graphically yesterday in the evening. The reason for that, I think one of the reasons for that is the aura of the presence of great personalities at this meeting. We have, of course, the presence of Her Holiness Amma herself, but we've also had other major sons, if I may say, of this city who have graced our meeting and given it a certain vibrance. This is the first part of my report on the Inception Conference. I think I could not start my report without mentioning this. The opening, if I may go then at seriatim on the various events, before the opening, we had a meeting of the working committee, which consisted of what is called the steering committee and the international advisory committee, which met on the 20th in the morning. And at the meeting, we considered, apart from the fact of the organization of this conference, we did consider some of the ways in which the relative priorities of the different working groups could be pushed forward. I will not go into many of the details, but we have a detailed report which we can, in fact, show to many of the members if they require, the delegates if they so require. The opening itself was preceded by a plenary meeting of the working groups. The first plenary meeting was held, in fact, before the inauguration itself. This was mainly in order to facilitate quick functioning and the organization of the inauguration itself was in the afternoon, so we thought we won't waste any time and have the plenary meeting in the morning itself. That meeting was on balancing development with environment. The meeting was presided by the former Chief Information Commissioner, Satyanand Mishra ji, and the speakers at the session were Dr. Andy Carmon, Clinical Director of the Clinton Health Access Initiative, Dr. Merle de Kroijk, Professor Environment Technology, TU Delft, Netherlands, Jadav Payeng, environmentalist from Majuli, Assam, and Indira Khurana, Commissioner, People's World Commission on Flood and Drought. The session covered the various questions of integrated holistic health, mind, body, and environment, sustainable and resilient communities, climate and water management. The respective coordinators of these working groups were Priya Nair, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Dr. Manisha Sudhir, Provost, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Dr. Gajanan Dange, and Vasuki Kalyanasundaram, the Satsang Foundation, India. After explaining the broad elements of the themes, Dr. Satyanand Mishra underlined that human beings were interdependent with their surroundings and nature. Dr. Priya Nair elaborated the concept of holistic health, and that it entailed a relationship between health and environment. Her working groups did various works relating to mental health, focus on nutrition, elderly health and life care, holistic health, non-communicable diseases, One Health, and women and child health. Dr. Manisha Sudhir, who coordinated the other working group on climate resilience and social justice, net zero emissions, emission targets, etc., spoke on various aspects relating to compassion for environment and the need for us to take a much greater holistic view of the various issues relating to environment. Mr. Gajanan Dange said that lifestyle and development was linked, and he said that we should add goal-based framework and value-based framework for these. When the issue of rejuvenation of rivers was considered, Vasuki Kalyanasundaram talked of the importance of conservation of rivers. The disappearing of rivers and the pollution of river bodies has been a major concern for the C20. Dr. Andy Carmon said that the two themes were very important in terms of discussing health, equity, and gender integration and holistic health. Dr. Merle de Kroijk, who spoke of the importance of the water cycle, said that addressing and limiting climate change would not be possible unless we fixed the water cycle. Indira Khurana spoke of a decentralized water conservation approach, which looked at indigenous wisdom and crop cultivation in sync with ecology and rainfall in the region. She talked about the need and significance of community involvement. Dr. Jaidev Payeng spoke about forest conservation. He says that trees had not only to be planted, but also to be nurtured. As Dr. Satyanand Mishra concluded the session, he said that a number of these issues will be discussed much further as we go along. I come now to the inaugural session of the Civil 20 yesterday in the afternoon. The inaugural session was chaired by Her Holiness Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, Amma, and also had Dr. Kailash Satyarthi, Nobel laureate and founder Satyarthi Foundation, who was the chief guest. The guest of honor included the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shriyut Devendra Fadnavis, and among others who spoke on the occasion were Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, the Vice Chairman of the Rambhau Mhalgi Prabodhini, myself, the Sherpa of the Indonesian C20, Maftuz Khan, and the Sherpa of the forthcoming C20 next year, Alessandra Nilo. Along with that, we also had on the days Madam Nivedita Bhideji, the Vice President of the Vivekananda Kendra. The Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis ji welcomed the guests as the son of this city of Nagpur. He said that under the leadership of the Prime Minister, the G20 had been democratized and it had become a peace movement, a people's movement, and said that the role of civil society was important as governments had legal power, but civil society had moral power. There has been the need for a robust system of civil society, as that would be the only way to ensure that the voice of the last man can be heard by the government. Dr. Kailash Satyarthi ji said that it was the first time that civil society was driven by spirituality. He said Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam was not just a slogan, but had deep roots in the spiritual tradition of this country. He said that India was the motherland of 1 billion solutions. He then remarked that but I think I've been asked that we should wrap up because I think this is I thought the report, I think it's best if we probably circulate it. But I think the messages of Kailash Satyarthi ji, as well as of the other major leaders, were actually a clarion call for all members of the C20 to adopt what may be called a spiritual approach to the problem of inclusion and the problems that we face here. Speaking on the occasion, Amma said that the future belongs not to single entities, but to those who cooperate and mingle. Everyone must obey the universal law of inclusion. People experience two types of poverty in the world. First is the poverty of food and shelter, and the second is the poverty of love and compassion. She said that there is need to cultivate the qualities of love and compassion so that the healthy mingling of diversity would bring about a flourishing of human culture. The Indian government, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, had accomplished a great deal and was creating huge transformation. She said that from ancient times, the world is one family, as one family had been the mantra of the Indian soil. It still is today. The rest of the panels were actually held today. There were 3 panels which were held. One, which was the panel on civil society organizations and promotion of human values. I shall just read out those who participated. The speakers in the session included the president of the Sahas Disability Research and Care Foundation, Kolhapur, Nasima Hurzuk, Dr. Shashibala, President, Indian Council for Cultural Studies, Swami Paramatmananda of the Arsha Vidya Mandir, and the Global Director of the 100 Million Campaign, Dr. Owain James. This session covered 4 working groups: Seva, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam working group, diversity, inclusion, mutual respect, and human rights and human values. It was chaired by Shyam Parandeji. I won't go into the details of the various points made by each one of them. The third plenary session of Civil 20 was on the role of civil society in promoting human development. The session was chaired by Madam Nivedita Bideji, and the speakers at the session included Gabriela Wright, co-founder Never Alone, Dr. R. Balasubramaniam, founder and chairman of Grassroots Research and Advocacy Movement, Meg Jones, Chief Economic Empowerment at UN Women, and Pedro Boca, International Advisory Member of the C20 India Board. The fourth plenary session was held in the afternoon just before this meeting. It was entitled Civil Society Organization as Drivers of Innovation and Technology. The speakers at this session were Alison Lynn Richards, Director, Intel Corporation, Srimati Jaya Jetli ji, President and Founder, Daskari Heart Samitiya, Veronica Soboleva, Director of Development at the International Collegiate Programming Contest, and Madam Bini Bukhori, who was a member of the International Advisory Committee. This committee considered the question of technology, security and transparency, preservation of traditional crafts, education and digital transformation, and the working groups were addressed by the coordinators as well as by the speakers. I have probably omitted mentioning to you that in the third session itself, the very important questions of gender equality and discrimination, the question of disabilities, were addressed with much focus, much seriousness by coordinators like the Bhavaniji of the Amachi Foundation, and as well as by Nidhi Goyalji of the Rising, who's the inspiration behind the Rising Flame NGO. All in all these deliberations added content, substantive content, and more than anything else, a well-rounded perspective on the consideration of each of these issues. What remains for us to do now is to move forward in finalizing the transition from the concept papers to the policy briefs, which we need to do over the coming weeks and months, so that before the summit that we have, which is slated for July this year, which is the C20 summit, we will have a document which encapsulates all the concerns of this civil society year under India's chairmanship, where not only will the traditional concerns of civil society over the past years be reflected, but some of the more newer concerns which have been, in a sense, activated by bodies in the civil society in India under Indian chairmanship, which will also be highlighted. I'm confident that as we move ahead in the months ahead, we will be able to get a compact, wise, insightful set of proposals for the G20 to consider. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I next call upon Ambassador Abhay Thakurji. Abhay Thakurji is the Additional Secretary G20 in the Ministry of External Affairs. He's the Sous Sherpa of G20 India. I ask him to please deliver his address.
C20 India Chair, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi ji, Amma, Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Vinay Sahasrabuddhe ji, President ICCR, distinguished C20 Troika members, Mr. Maftu Chan, Swami Atmaswarup Nanda ji, and Ms. Alessandra Nilo, Principal Coordinator and my senior Ambassador Vijay Nambiar ji, C20 core group members, Ms. Nivedita Bhide ji from Vivekananda Kendra, delegates from across the world, civil society organizations, and friends. On behalf of the G20 Secretariat MEA, I would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to India's Civil 20 team, led by Amma, on the resounding success of the Civil 20 Inception Conference in Nagpur. I also thank Amma and Civil 20 Secretariat for inviting me to deliver this address today. I am most humbled by this invitation. Also being a native, or almost a native of Nagpur as a product of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Vayu Sena Nagar, Nagpur, Dharampet College, and then the Vishveshwaraya Regional College of Engineering almost 33 years ago, before joining the Indian Foreign Service in 1992. I am overjoyed to be among my Nagpurian brothers and sisters today. Civil 20 could not have made a better choice for its inception meeting than Nagpur, which lies at the precise geographical center of the country and in many ways reflects the very ethos and cultural confluence of India, combined with its oranges, its tigers, Haldirams, and the proximity to Sevagram. Combined with a thriving education and innovation center, Nagpur brings together the diversity of Indian culture, society, and thought. Our Civil 20 team, led by Amma and ably supported by Rambhau Malgi Prabodhini, the Satsang Foundation, led by Sri M, and the Vivekananda Kendra Kanyakumari, symbolizes the core of India's civil society. Carrying several hundred Indian CSOs together with them, this civil society leadership provides a much-needed, comprehensive, and unique Indian flavor to our country's engagement with civil society across the globe. Our G20 presidency is truly a watershed moment. It coincides with the beginning of Amrit Kal, the next 25 years after the 75th anniversary of our independence. This translates into English as the golden era, a time of great transformation and renewal in our collective resolve to build a glorious, developed, and self-reliant nation. During our G20 presidency, we will be hosting a number of international meetings for which number more than 200 in 59 cities across the length and breadth of our country. It is truly a whole-of-nation endeavor. Our presidency is also a great opportunity for India to display her economic progress, technological prowess, and intellectual strengths, together with our enormous traditional and cultural heritage before the world. In this context, allow me to show a short video that not only highlights Government of India's priorities, but also brings out the immense power of international conversations in achieving inclusive growth and sustainable development across the world. I hope the video would provide the audience, including our esteemed guests from across the world, an idea of how India is approaching its presidency, in which multi-stakeholder interaction, led by engagement groups, plays a key role. May I have the video, please?
We, the people, have always believed in the power of conversations to discover engagement and collaboration. Since the advent of civilization, India has also advocated the collective power of dialogue and diplomacy. People-to-people contact to restore economic growth, ensure global stability, and promote resilience. With today's pressing global challenges and development waiting to take flight, India has emerged as a responsible nation which believes in inclusive growth, working fast on initiatives with a strong will, walking the talk on climate action.
मिशन लाइफ का मंत्र है लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट। पृथ्वी पर रहने वाले प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को व्यक्तिगत प्रयासों की कामना के साथ ही आज ये मिशन लाइफ का ये विजन दुनिया के सामने रख रहा है। मिशन लाइफ इस धरती की सुरक्षा के लिए जन जन की शक्तियों को जोड़ता है।
Lending institutional solutions. A credible friend, creating coalitions for disaster infrastructure. Taking the war against terrorism and misuse of technology. For India, the world is about being together as one big family. Let's tap into the power of conversations for building partnerships and progressive ideas. As every spoken word will bring us closer, united through investment, innovation, and inspiration. We can make the world a lot better and progressive. Let us join hands to promote multi-stakeholder engagement and conversations on international challenges. G20 India. One Earth, one family, one future.
Thank you. I would now quickly outline our G20 presidency context and priorities. From 1st December 2022 to 30th November 23, our presidency has commenced in a sure-footed manner. The logo in our flag colors reflecting our pro-planet approach in the blue earth and growth amid challenges in the lotus, as well as the theme Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, have been widely appreciated by all G20 delegates as unique and uniquely Indian, with all-encompassing, inclusive message capturing the diverse global challenges of today. Today, the world is facing multiple challenges, including uneven pandemic recovery, climate change, global economic slowdown, rising international debt, sluggish progress on SDGs, and geopolitical tensions. Yet, in these complex challenges also lie opportunities to bring lasting solutions to global challenges through dialogue, discussions, and consensus. As participants of the Civil 20 Engagement Group, your concerted efforts and collective actions provide a vital ray of hope for overcoming these challenges. Civil society plays a pivotal role in shaping public policy, advocating equity and inclusivity, fostering socio-economic development, preserving human dignity, achieving social justice, as well as establishing and enhancing national and global tranquility. Efforts made by governments in these areas can multiply with the support and understanding of civil society. Friends, with the oldest known traditions of collective decision-making and Republican thought, India has contributed to the foundational DNA of democracy. As a fountainhead and a mother of democracy, democratic governance has been an integral part of our socio-economic framework for centuries. The spirit of India, right from the ancient times of the Vedas and the ancient Republic of Vaishali, to the establishment of local rural bodies or panchayats in independent India, traversing across villages, towns, and urban cities, and pulsating in the daily actions of our 1.4 billion Indians, has been the spirit of democracy, the spirit of sharing responsibilities, participatory decision-making, and co-creating meaningful solutions. The Civil 20 motto, "You are the light," symbolizes the flame of hope, self-motivation, and selfless service. It is heartening to note the importance being accorded to selfless service, volunteerism, and responsibilities of the civil society. For the first time, we are seeing the real Indian civil society coming together in full effect on center stage, in displaying its tremendous potential via multifarious activities. Through its Inception Meeting, you all have highlighted the positive and proactive role played by civil society in all spheres of life. Your lively participation today is a wonderful example of how civil society organizations can work together to influence global policy decisions. I am happy to note that discussions held over the last 2 days, as brought out by Ambassador Vijay Nambiar during the Inception meeting, on the topics of balancing development with environment, promotion of human values, and role of civil society in promoting human development, as well as civil societies being the drivers of innovation and technology, have a deep resonance with India's G20 priorities that revolve around green development and lifestyle for environment. In conclusion, I heartily congratulate the Civil 20 Engagement Group on behalf of the G20 Secretariat for providing a platform to CSOs from G20 members and beyond across the world. C20 is playing a critical role in weaving the concerns of the common people in the overarching G20 agenda. We in the G20 Secretariat wish the Civil 20 fruitful deliberations and look forward to receiving their policy recommendations. I'm sure that under the chairship of Amma, the Civil 20 shall come up with a policy pack in its summit in July this year, which will have inclusive and actionable recommendations. I would also like to express my hope that 2023 would be a year in which Indian civil society engagement will get a real boost, place itself firmly on the global stage, and leave a lasting imprint going forward, carrying on with its good work for years and decades to come, both in G20 and outside. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Going ahead, I humbly request Padma Shri Nivedita Bhidetai from the Vivekananda Kendra to please come and take the podium.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Amma, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. Yesterday, while talking, Kailas Satyarthi ji made one very remarkable comment. He said, which was also mentioned by Vijay ji, he said that first time, perhaps, C20 is driven by spirituality. And at such time, the chairperson is Amma. That is the significance. It's not just, God decided. Somewhere Providence is working to bring back spirituality in the human life. And that is the indication. So, my pranams to Amma, respected Nitin ji, Abhay Thakur ji, Vijay ji, Vinay Sahasrabuddhe ji, Satyanarayan ji. You know, he is the president of reception committee, and we all know how we were received. Our Troika members, Vijay ji, of course, I have already told, then Maftuchan ji. In our working group meeting, he told, if Maftuchan you find difficult, you can just say aha. So I was telling him that in India, aha is wonderful. And that's how really this Inception seminar was. And Alessandro Nilo and all our international delegates, the speakers, the invited guests, working group coordinators, the working group team members, and every one of you, my namaskars to you. You know, we have crossed one important stage. The themes are discussed, sub-themes are also decided, and already we are moving towards the policy brief, a very challenging, and as it was mentioned by Abhayji very nicely, the policy brief, he said the recommendations that will reach us will be actionable and inclusive. So this is what is the challenge in front of all of us, and we shall really strive to do that. Now, while doing it as such, the C20 work which has been going on all these years, the earlier civil societies, whatever they thought was required, they have done, and they have carried forward the process. And today, we who are all engaged in this, we have to do that. But while doing that, as India has got the presidency, and India is known for spirituality. Now, when we say spirituality, what do we mean? Of course, we have been repeating since yesterday, quoting it, and very importantly, no doubt about it, that we see the whole existence as interconnected, interrelated, interdependent, as expression of oneness, and therefore compassion, love, all this, of course, is there. But it's not only that. When we say spirituality, it is not only these values or words or the fact of existence, what means spirituality. What added dimension is that we strive to feel, to behave, to act based on oneness, and to do that, we develop certain systems, whether family system, social system, community system, political system. So various systems are developed. But over the time, the systems can become oppressive. And therefore, we always need to take that evaluation. We have to evaluate that what is it that we have to hold on, and what sustains us we have to hold on. That is what is dharma. So we have to hold on to certain values. But if the systems have become oppressive, or we have adopted systems which were not really helping us to realize our objectives, then we must have courage, we must have the openness of mind to change our systems and devise the new systems. And that is what helps us really to practice oneness. And that is the challenge in front of us. So while preparing policy brief as part of the C20 group, because I am also involved in the whole process, I would just like to share few points with you with this introduction. That, when we work, let us not have, for policy brief, let us not have short-termism approach. We have to look at long range, how society will be sustained, how human life will be sustained. It's not only we have to live materially happily, we have to also evolve spiritually. And therefore, that taking everything into account, our approach should not be short-termism. I will just explain what it means. As civil societies, we address to various sectors of the society. And for quick results, many times, we provoke the hatred or jealousy or the anger towards other sectors of the society so that we can organize this specific sector of the society. Maybe it gives us immediate result in organizing this sector, but in long run, it does not help the humanity. So when we are, using our language, in whether our civil society is in policy brief, in concept note, or whatever interactions we are going to have all these coming months, let us not lead our people to the hatred, jealousy, anger against others, but more towards harmony. Because the world is diverse. We cannot bring equality. This is a fact. But we can harmonize the differences with the feeling of oneness. And to harmonize it, to bring that harmony, what we need is this long-range approach to the our policy brief. Secondly, we should not allow commercialization, to deviate us from our goals. I will just explain with very painful example what is happening the other parts of the country and of the world, some parts of the world, and I do not know, it may be even in all the countries to some in lesser degrees. This gender dysphoria we started talking about. And then we started telling the children they can change their gender, even the children. and children are allowed to undergo irreversible surgeries once for all, spoiling their life, which is not correct, but the commercialization has set in. So the medication, the surgeries, it helps them, and that is why the discourse is going on. We had one session just before this, and in that about ChatGPT, it was mentioned. So in ChatGPT, I asked the question, whether we should allow the children to undergo irreversible surgeries. You know, again and again, ChatGPT is telling me, yeah, that is the decision of a child. You inform the child about all whatever consequences, but allow the child to do whatever the child wants. So ChatGPT is not really in the interest of the humanity, in the sense whatever is fed there comes to us. So she had rightly, warned us to use such things carefully. Anyway, so commercialization should not be allowed to come. Then we should not universalize the experiences of certain traditions or people for the whole humanity, because the world is diverse. And to tell you, we all know, of course, that certain societies are relation-based. They are linked to the family, to the communities, to the society, to the nature. So they are relation-based. There you cannot take standalone approach to human rights, taking that person as an individual. He has duty towards his family, towards his society, towards the nature, towards the civilization, and therefore this human rights application universally, uniformly, all over the world will cause more harm than really take care of the interest of the humanity. So we should not have universalization of any terms, application of terms or methods when we are discussing in civil societies, because each society has different needs. Giving just one example, I think it was in 2005 or so, the G20 leaders realized that there is no uniform fit-all model for economic development of the nations. Till then, in 1951 resolution of United Nations, it was said the ancient philosophies, the ancient cultures need to be disbanded if we want those countries to develop. And though the process is very painful, there is no other way. This is what United Nations said in 1951. And that is how the narrative started, calling us backward, calling us, for example, in India, the word was used, Hindu economic rate of growth or something like that, when we were really suffering from colonial impact. So let us not, as G20 leaders later realized, and then even World Bank and even United Nations have realized that there is no uniform method of economic development for nations. Actually, the nation develops based on its cultural ethos. When South Korea and all many examples were seen, that's how it was told. So the same way, we cannot apply the same methods to all the countries, all the civilizations. So this is one thing, because the civil societies from 20 countries and even for other countries, we are coming together and discussing, but let us not have uniform prescriptions, but let us take into account the diversity of the whole world. Diversity is the rule of nature. I would just conclude with two thoughts of Swami Vivekananda, very remarkable. For civil societies, he says, first thing is feel from the heart. Do you really feel from the heart? Swamiji says, have you lost your sleep? Only then you are eligible to work as part of civil society. It is not to promote our, career or to get something that we are in the civil societies. I will tell you two very touching moments of these 2 days. Yesterday when we were coming, it was mentioned, the people were waving hands. And you see, the police had stopped because for all our buses to pass, and the people are held up. But they are not cursing us. They are waving at us. It was so touching. It is for our such simple people that we are working. And another very touching moment was when our Nasima Hurzuk, that video we were seeing. The child has no hands, but with legs, she is drawing, painting, and enjoying the life. We had to maintain that joy in the life of everyone. And so this is what, do we feel from the heart? Then the second is, have we found a way out? That is what initially I mentioned. We have to evaluate whatever till now we have been doing, in what better way we can do. So have we found a way out? Have we developed the systems which are based on compassion, on love, on care for others? And the third is whether Swamiji says we have got indomitable will. Come what may, difficulties may come, and yet we should continue, which Meg Jones today explained with tenacity to us in her session. So this is what is required. And concluding with the last point, I will say, Swami Vivekananda had said, the truth does not pay homage to society, any society, ancient or modern. He says the truth does not pay homage to society. The society has to pay homage to truth or perish. And the truth of existence is interconnectedness, interdependence, oneness, compassion, which Amma incarnates for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those words of wisdom. Our next speaker is Shri Nitinji Gadkari. He is a member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, and the current Minister for Road Transport and Highways in the Government of India. He is also the longest-serving Minister for Road Transport Highways, currently running his tenure for over 8 years. He is also known for his work as the Public Works Department Minister for the state of Maharashtra. So one special point here, we all heartily appreciate the wonderful visual treat that you have gifted us at Futara Lake in Nagpur. Thank you so much for that. In all humility, I request you to please take the podium.
परम श्रद्धेय अम्मा जी, रेस्पेक्टेबल श्री अभय ठाकुर, आदरणीय निवेदिता भिड़े, श्री विनय सहस्त्रबुद्धि जी, आदरणीय सत्यनारायण नुआल जी, श्री विजय नंबियार जी, all respectable dignitaries and dear friends. First of all, it is a great honor for me to welcome all of you in Nagpur. Being a member of parliament from the Nagpur, it is really a great pleasure and pride for this event. The respectable Amma is here, and actually Nagpur is a city which is the heart of the country. The 0 mile start from Nagpur. Nagpur is the city which is the center of RSS, being the largest NGO in the world. Nagpur is the center where Baba Saheb Ambedkar, at the time on Diksha Bhumi, he take both the Dharma Diksha. These are the historical thing for Nagpur. Nagpur is a tiger capital because 2 hours distance from Nagpur we have 350 tigers. At the same time, the city called as Orange City. And I am really happy that you all are here and giving opportunity to welcome you. And now this is to be a great event which is going to be happen here. It is to be in the history of our country. Now, one of the important thing I am really appreciate the most important subject where already you have a big discussion on that. I'm not the authority to talk about anything about it. But one of the important thing is Nagpur is the first city in the country where we are selling the sewage water of Nagpur to government of Maharashtra and getting 300 crore rupees per year from the ecology and environment point of view. This is one of the historical subject, the project in Nagpur. Now, as a minister, I got appointed to serve Namami Ganga. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, we have taken special efforts to make Ganga clean. And now it is to be a success story that today it is a feeling that our country is already in the mission mode for 100% we have to do as far as our target is carbon neutral before 2070. That is to be the mission of Prime Minister. So regarding water pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, we need to have do lot of things. Being a transport minister, I am responsible for 40% pollution of the country. And that is a big challenge which I am trying my level best from last 8 years to change that. So we have the import of fossil fuel of 16 lakh crores every year. And for ecology and environment, we need good roads. We need good infrastructure. But at the same time, we have to protect ecology and environment. And that is the reason today we have started the alternative fuel, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-LNG, bio-CNG, electric and hydrogen. I have got car on hydrogen in Delhi. Now we are moving towards hydrogen, green hydrogen. It's a futuristic fuel. Now we have waiting list for electric vehicles. We have thousands of electric buses now. We are number 3 in the world as far as automobile manufacturing is concerned. It is with my department. Presently, the size of the industry is 7.5 lakh crore, and my dream is to make it 15 lakh crore. But ultimately, 100%, we are diversifying from petrol, diesel, fossil fuel towards green fuel. We are making ethanol from molasses, ethanol from sugarcane juice. We are making ethanol from corn, food grains, and even from rice straw. We have a project in Panipat where we are making 1 lakh liter of ethanol from parali, that is popularly known as parali, but it is rice straw, and 150 ton bio-bitumen per day. We are making bioethanol from bamboo also in Assam. So the dream of our Prime Minister that how we are going to reduce the pollution in the country. I'm just giving the 2 good examples. Just 5 days before I was in Delhi, we are making big ring road in Delhi where we are using 20 lakh ton of municipal garbage in the road construction. We are using 20 lakh ton of municipal waste in Ahmedabad-Dolero Express Highway. And now we have a policy, we have already formulated the policy, the using of solid waste, in particularly in road construction. In just near to Nagpur, near in Chandrapur district, Vani, we have a crash barrier from bamboo. We are having a lot of things. We are encouraging green fuels and diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector. Presently, we name it as Annadata. Now we want to make them Urja Data. And now we have formulated the policy by which the farmers can make bio-bitumen and from the rice straw, and by which 100% they will be bitumen data. So the way in which we are working on green economy, where we have a lot of commitment for ecology and environment. At the same time, we are the fastest growing economy in the world. And I know that the knowledge is the power. The innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skill and successful practices. We name it as knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. But at the same time, we have a lot of educational institutions. We have got IIT, engineering colleges, and knowledge is the power. And the futuristic technology, futuristic successful practices, 100% very important for the country. But at the same time, the feeling of G20, that is to be whole world one family, it is very important. We have value-based education system, we have value-based family system, and that is to be the biggest strength of Indian society. Our society is standing on three important pillars: ethics, economy, ecology, and environment. And regarding ethics, Amma ji is here. Already Nivedita ji has explained you very nicely about the cultural philosophy of our country, the spirituality, that is to be the biggest strength for the country. We feel that, and that is exactly the feeling under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, that whole world is one family and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I always remember one of the Sanskrit Subhashit, Akashat Patitam Toyam Yathagachati Sagaram Sarvadeva Namaskara Keshavam Pratigachati. The God is for every religion, ultimately the God is one. Whenever you pray for one God, ultimately it is going to the God, which is really admired by everybody. And that is the feeling of Indian culture. And today, we are the fastest growing economy. We have to develop good infrastructure. We have to protect our rivers. We need power for development. But at the same time, before 2070, we want to make India carbon neutral country. Now in our power basket, the 38% of the power is solar. And Ammaji, now we are 100% trying to develop the automobile industry by using green hydrogen. We can make green hydrogen from sewage water. We can make green hydrogen from organic waste. And now we have a lot of projects we are doing a hydrogen mission by which in industry, either it is chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, or steel industry, we will use hydrogen as a fuel. We will use hydrogen as a fuel in aviation, in railway, everywhere in the transport. And now we have got the automobile buses and trucks on IC engine where we can use hydrogen there. We have got a lot of construction equipments. Now we are using on electric. The lithium ion is one of the important things. And today India has got the storage of lithium ion in Jammu and Kashmir. The cost of the lithium ion which we got, that is to be cost of 34 lakh crores. And by which we are already encouraging electric vehicles, electric cars, electric scooter, electric buses, and we are protecting our environment. Being a minister of transport, we are also using for public transport on electricity. Regarding ecology and environment is the highest priority for the government. At the same time, the economic progress is very important. The principle of our party, that is to be Antyodaya. The socio-economic justice is very important. We always feel that the politics is the instrument of socio-economic reform. And the meaning of the Antyodaya is the last man of the society who is socially, economically, educationally backward, how we can make his life sustainable. That is the most important challenge and mission for the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji. Social equality and economic equality is the ultimate target for all of us. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. With the value-based education system, value-based family system, with our culture, with our history, our feeling is the whole world is one community, one family, and that is to be the important feeling of the G20. I am really happy today I got an opportunity to even interact with you. Actually, yesterday, really I am happy that you visited our fountain. Now it is rating as the world #1 fountain in the world. It was one of our dreams. We have 6 world record in road construction, and just front of this hotel, there is first time in India, the road, bridge, and the metro. And now we are making double layer flyover. Double layer flyover we are making in Chennai, making 3 layer. In Pune, also 3 layer. So we are already have the highest network, road network. We are in the #1 in the world now. And always I am talking to the people about the American President John F. Kennedy. He always telling to the people that American roads are not good because America is rich. but America is rich because American roads are good. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, we are developing waterways, e-ways, airport, airways, and railway, and at the same time the national highway infrastructure. We have got good quality of roads now, and everywhere we are trying to develop our country, because without infrastructure, we can't get industry. Without industry, we can't get capital investment. Without investment and industry, we cannot create employment potential, and without employment potential, we cannot eradicate the poverty. So that is the feeling about it, but at the same time, our spiritual values, our religious great culture which we have on the basis of Swami Vivekananda ji. Already the Vivekananda ji has the ideal for all of us, and he has all no philosophy can be taught to empty stomach. We also understand it is very important. At the same time, we resolve the problem of poverty, but we as a spiritual country, with the spiritual thinking, with the culture, with the history, that is to be the biggest strength of our country. And at the same time, we are the largest democracy in the world, mother of the democracy. And that is the reason this time, under the leadership of Prime Minister, we are already thinking about the welfare of the whole world. We need to establish cooperation, coordination, communication between all stakeholders. And the people like you who have their thinking, which is in the interest of the welfare of the world, where we need interaction. And that is exactly the spirit behind this. And I'm really happy today, under the leadership of Amma ji, you discuss many issues here. 100% your thinking and your alternatives and your new futuristic vision will inspire and motivate to the people of the world for the welfare of the community, whole world community. I'm very much confident about it. Once again, I'm giving my thanks to all of you. It is really a great pleasure and pride for me, being a Nagpurian, to welcome all you here, the great people of the world. All are here in the Nagpur. That is to be a great thing for all of us. People of Nagpur are very happy. I am talking with the Mataji that really her blessings to all of us is really a great event for all of us. Once again, I am giving my thanks and best wishes to all of you for coming to Nagpur and participate here in this seminar. I am really grateful for all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request the patron of the C20 Secretariat, Shri Vinayji Sahasrabuddhe, to give his closing remarks.
Her Holiness, Pujya Mata Amritanandamayi Devi ji, our beloved Amma, our very energetic and I would describe him as a doer minister, somebody who not just talks but also undertakes and completes the work, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, who very much belongs to this city. Nivedita Bhide ji of the Vivekananda Kendra, the Sherpa of C20, Vijay Nambiar ji, G20 Su Sherpa, Shri Abhay Thakur ji, and all the delegates of this wonderful conference, the Inception Meeting of C20 brothers and sisters. 2 days were really very enriching, and there could not have been a better message coming from a person like Nitin Gadkari ji. In Hindi, we call Margadarshak, which is a person who shows us the path. But in real terms, Nitin ji, for many of us, is Marga Nirmata, who creates the path and then shows it to us. So I believe when we leave Nagpur, Some of us are leaving today, some of us are leaving tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. We will be going back with renewed vigor, confidence, and a courage of conviction. And Nagpur is the city which has a long history of voluntarism. Yesterday also I had referred that this is the birthplace of the largest voluntary movement of the world. And therefore, I'm sure we will be going back and rededicating ourselves to the work of seva, to the work of serving the cause of humanity. When I just looked back at what all happened during all the 2 days and especially the deliberations this evening, Nivedita ji rightly commented and presented her views about the challenges before all of us. She also referred to the challenge of new technology. But I believe voluntarism has the ability, has the potential of humanizing or rather spiritualizing technology. And with the blessings of a person no less than our beloved Amma, I'm sure we can face the challenge of technology with a spiritualized approach. I know that we can humanize the mindlessness of technology with the heartfulness of spirituality. Technology, as Nivedita ji referred to, gives us ChatGPT, and spirituality teaches us deep affinity. We can overcome these challenges if we spiritualize voluntary work. And how do we do that? As a volunteer, as a social worker, I also see that NGOs, the voluntary organizations themselves, also are facing several challenges. The word NGO arrived because in a democratic welfare state, it was realized that only government organizations are not enough. And therefore, we require NGOs, that is non-government organizations, which are supposed to be less bureaucratic and more compassionate. But with the passage of time, NGOs, sadly, in certain parts, are becoming like GOs, which is, they are also facing the challenge of bureaucracy and several such issues which otherwise are associated with any government work. And therefore, the challenge before the voluntary sector is that of restoring the purity of purpose, and spirituality, I believe, teaches us the same thing. I'm here to express our deep sense of gratitude towards one and all as patron of the C20 Secretariat. Let me start by expressing my deep sense of gratitude towards, first of all, our beloved Amma. Mata Amritanandamayi ji's presence over here not only was the guiding spirit of the entire 2-day deliberations, but here onwards also, I'm sure her blessings will show us the path. I must also refer to the continued support coming from Swami Amrita Swarupananda ji, who is here along with all of us. And he has been a solid support behind all those who were working for the success of this conference. I must also, with gratitude, refer to the contributions and the support coming from Nivedita Bhideji of the Vivekananda Kendra, Vasuki Kalyana Sundaram ji of Satsanga Foundation, and Shri M, and of course our two young Susherpas, Professor Swadesh and Shri D.M. Kiran. I must also refer to the support that came from the local civil society organizations. Satyanarayan Ji Nuwal, the president of the local reception committee, is right here on the dais. He and several his colleagues went out of way to ensure that we are all here receiving the and experiencing the hospitality of Nagpur. I mean, we are going back not with just sweet oranges, but I'm sure many sweet memories as well. I must also mention the support that came from the municipal commissioner over here, the chairman of the Nagpur Development Authority, the divisional commissioner, Vijaya Lakshmi ji, who was all along supportive, the local police also, and of course, the local hotel staff of the Radisson. I must express our thanks to the hotel administration as well. Along with all these people, there was a band of social workers, voluntary workers, who were all along, not just during the day, but even in late hours in the night as well. They were working to ensure that all of us are received well over here, and every arrangement is flawless. Amongst them, it's a huge list, but I'll just mention as a token of our gratitude towards all of them. Some key persons I'm referring, but I'm sure that it's a huge list. But let me refer to Jayant Pathak ji. If Jayant ji is there, please identify yourself and offer pranams to the entire... He was right there at the airport. Many of you must have, first of all, met with him when he received all of you. Then our friend and senior social worker here, Shailesh Joglekar ji. Another social worker, volunteer, Pankaj Gautam ji. Pankaj ji. And some of you might have seen that the media has also covered this conference very positively, and they have been able to capture the constructive spirit of the deliberations. And this was handled by Parinita Fuke ji, who is one of our volunteers taking care of the media. Along with all these people who are the Nagpurians, there were others who came from other places also, like Pune, Jalgaon, Mumbai, and they also contributed as part of the C20 Secretariat team. Amongst them was our Jayant Kulkarni. Dr. Jayant Kulkarni is there. He is the Executive Director of Rambhau Mahalgi Prabodhini. Then a part of the team, Ratnakar Patil, who came specially from Jalgaon here. Shri Milind Arolkar, again, who came specially from Mumbai here. And the person who acted as the master of ceremony for the function yesterday and today also, Dr. Medha Dikshit. Ladies and gentlemen, after this particular session, after my vote of thanks, there will be national anthem. And after the national anthem, all these volunteers will join us for a picture along with Amma and Nitinji and other dignitaries. After that only, we are supposed to leave this hall. The instructions about tomorrow's program and other details will come to you. But I'm sure, like in Indian traditions, and you know, Maharashtra is known for Ganesha festival. And when we worship Lord Ganesh for between 2 days to 10 days, depending upon local customs, when we bid a goodbye to Lord Ganesh, we say Punaragamanaya cha, which means come again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
All SC and ISC members are requested to join Ambassador Abhay Thakurji in the boardroom after the program. Thank you so much, sir.